It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 288 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens! We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens, ducks, and geese every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget.
And then we wash our hands.
We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster here in Maryland. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Today is some delicious Sumatra coffee.
It's very good. You need some flavored creamer in that. At least I do. So,
yeah, I just have the thick, rich, delicious creamer.
I use flavored there. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious coffee and chat?
I am. But first, some words from our sponsors.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Heat wave! It's a heat wave. 3 days of a heat wave while we're recording here in the Mid-Atlantic.
It's not even summer yet, and we're well into the 90s. But I have to tell you, I'm profoundly depressed.
Oh,
because, no. Yeah. That hard frost that we had in April, it has killed the blossoms on pretty much all the fruit trees throughout the Mid-Atlantic. So apples, peaches, all the tree fruits.
I think you told us you had 5 apples.
No, it's down to 4. It's down to 4. One of them just dried and fell off. So I have on my 3 trees, on my 3 active bearing trees, I have 4 apples.
Oh,
also,
no.
Here's the other thing that happened, because you know how I love those antique roses. I have several bushes that are once bloomers. Like they're antique roses, they only bloom once a year. So like for the month of May into June, and they're amazing. Right. They really make me happy. And they got messed up too. And so they have really deformed flower buds, and they really can't bloom, so to speak. So no roses on some of those bushes until next year.
We do not need your mom to come over for preening of the roses this year.
Or pruning. I would rather.
Did I say preening?
You said preening, which you know makes
why?
Sense.
Because
chickens preen.
Chickens preen. Let me re-say that. We do not need your mom to come over for pruning for the roses this year.
Well, she can. She may as well, because the flowers that are, misshapen or whatever, they need to be cut off anyway, let the bushes recover, and then hope that we don't keep having this absolutely horrible weather pattern anymore.
What was not affected by that are my peonies. They are absolutely huge and gorgeous.
But your peach trees may have been affected.
Well, the peach trees were on their last dying days anyway, so we lost another one over the winter. So we actually need to get new peach trees planted.
Oh, man, it takes a while for them to bear. You guys might want to get on that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you think. But my peonies are gorgeous because they benefited from having chicken elixir water put in them all throughout the winter, because the chickens were in the garage, and that's where the peony garden is, outside the garage. So they got all the extra calcium and everything from the chicken elixir all winter.
Sorry, I just knocked my microphone over with my coffee cup. That's what all the little clanging noises that you just heard were.
Yeah, so they did great. They're doing great over. I'll enjoy them for like the next week or 2, and that's it. Then they'll be gone until next year. One of my most favorite things of spring are those, definitely. But other than that, I got some wine barrel planters I'm trying to fill. I'm going to do the bottom fill with dirt from on top of the chicken run, and then do better soil on the top. Because, you got to wait for it so that it doesn't get too acidic. But if it's on the very bottom of the barrel, it's good.
You can mix it in. It isn't as bad as you think it is. You don't have to just put it straight on the bottom if you don't want to. That works.
Yeah.
But you could mix it with like a good quality raised bed soil or something like that. Yeah. And the pH should still be within a good range for most plants.
I did plant my grape tomato plants today. They are planted on the deck. So,
yay! What variety did you go for?
what did I get? It might have been the yellow ones. I don't know what variety that was.
Okay. I'm doing red fig because I'm going to dehydrate them in my dehydrator and have sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, so now that we're not traveling as much, I'm trying to stay around here and get some stuff done that needs to be done. I don't know. There's always something, though, I feel like, that you could be doing.
It's always fine. I like being at home and doing the work. This 3-day stretch of, mid-90s that we're in right now is going to be followed by some rain, which the garden needs desperately. So,
oh, yeah.
That's where we are. And my potatoes are up. Yay.
And on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. While you're there, hit that subscribe button. And we always are looking and reading the reviews, and it's a free way to support us. So if you feel like you want to say something nice, we would love to read it.
If you're looking for other ways to support the show, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. We just had a great call with our hen-level patrons last night. Thank you all.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited to see if Carla's babies arrive today.
Fingers crossed, all is well. And there are 2 more things you can do to support this show. The first is you can buy our book, The Chicken Lady's Life to Guide with Chickens. The Joys of Delicious Eggs and Raising a Healthy Flock is now available for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I've got a link in our show notes, or you can go straight to our website. And there's
like listening to our show, but reading it. All the health tips, everything.
And more.
That we talk about and more are in this book.
And more. There's a lot in this book. This was a true labor of love for us, and we hope you get a ton out of it. The other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes. And besides pre-ordering our book, use our affiliate links and discount codes and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay! Be honest. What's the most annoying part of chicken keeping day to day?
Oh, that's easy. Feeding time. Or what's left on the ground after it.
Exactly. Wasted feed. And that's where the Omelette No Waste Feeder comes in.
Okay, I need details.
They're designed to solve all the classic feeder problems: spills, wasted feed, and pests.
Yep, that is my life.
The No Waste Feeders keeps feed protected, clean, and secure. They're spill-proof by design, which means far less mess around the coop and far less waste overall.
That already sounds like a big improvement.
They also hold enough feed for up to 6 chickens for a week, so you're not constantly topping it up every day.
That is actually life-changing.
And if you go for the smart no waste feeder, you can even connect it via your phone and set timed openings and closings so feeding can be completely hands-off if you want it to be.
Whoa, I am sold.
Search Omelette, that's OMLET, and upgrade your smart no waste feeder today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare, and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. There was a dark black chicken in the world, and everyone loved them, but they did not lay dark eggs. No, they did not. Guess what color? We're gonna tell you in the Breed Spotlight, yeah.
Yeah.
This week's Breed Spotlight is
the Ayam Cemani.
Yes, indeedy.
You've probably seen the Ayam Cemani, even if you're, say, new to chickens and you don't know the breeds yet. The Ayam Cemani is one of the breeds that has a fibromelanistic gene, which means that it's black skin, black feathers, black tissue, black everything black, except for the eggs.
Yeah. The eggs are not black.
The Ayam Cemani is a rare breed of chicken from Indonesia, specifically the Isle of Java. Ayam means chicken in Indonesia, and Cemani is most likely from the town of Cemani on the Isle of Java. This breed has been in Indonesia for hundreds of years, and in their native land, they're renowned as fighting birds in some areas, while other areas regard them as a bird with mystical and even medicinal properties. And
They're
we've
kind
seen
of mysterious. That's what people think of them.
We've seen the medicinal bird before with the silky.
Yeah.
Which is probably, maybe the oldest chicken breed that we know of. And they also have the fibromelanistic gene where they have the dark skin. Like the silky, or like the dark silkies, the Cemani is best known for its black coloring. That fibromelanistic gene creates hyperpigmentation. So like we said, the bird is black all throughout the entire body. Everything except for eggs and blood. And the blood, of course, is red because of hemoglobin.
Right, exactly.
And again, they do not lay black eggs. I don't care what TikTok tells you. I don't care what AI tells you. They do not lay black eggs. There are no chickens. Listen to this. There are no chickens that lay black eggs. The only black egg layer amongst domestic poultry is the cayuga duck.
Exactly.
And even then, they only lay a few black eggs. They really, like Snapdragon lays sort of a smoky gray color. It's very pretty on its own, but they only lay a few black eggs at the beginning of the season. Okay, the black bones, that is something curious that we were looking more into because we wanted to figure out how that happens. If that happens, if these birds actually have black bones, because no other animals have black bones, right? I did some looking through a lot of scientific journals, but couldn't find any place that explained how the calcium got colored to make the black bones. More on that the next time we talk about a fibromelanistic bird.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too, and things are saying that they are black, but they're not really showing you. So, there's kind of conflicting information out there.
If they're black, I want to know the mechanism by which this happens.
Right. And it's hard to know also with AI these days if the pictures are real or if they're not real.
Right.
So that's something that we're kind of going to do a deeper dive into and keep looking to kind of next time we do this breed spotlight, have a definitive answer on it.
Right. I mean, lots of older references in Chinese language that refer to silkies as having black bones makes me think, yeah. Because these are old and trustworthy sources. But again, no scientific information about the mechanism by which this works. Maybe
it's one of those natural phenomenons that people just don't even know. They're like, how are they?
I mean, I suppose it's possible. No one's ever looked into it. Anyway.
Like, oh yeah, here we go. So I guess we'll just keep diving.
Right. But again, white eggs and red blood. Because you do see a lot of they have black blood, but they don't have black blood. The Ayam Cemani has been in Europe since about 1998, when it was imported by Dutch breeders and fanciers. Here in the US, Greenfire Farms imported a couple of unrelated bloodlines, and they've achieved a really beautiful breeding flock. They're probably the parent stock of a lot of the US Cemani flocks now.
Yeah.
Both hens and roosters are known to have laid back and friendly personalities, and that has certainly made them even more popular. Because I think when you see the Ayam Cemani, you're like, whoa, is that just another fighting breed?
That, and I mean, there is something, it's like, they do have a mystic kind of look to them, like.
They look like black chicken to me.
Yeah. Because sometimes, I mean, even black chickens have different color legs and combs and wattles, but everything is black on them. So, they have a little bit of a mystique, like, oh, okay.
If you say so. Cool. Okay, we'll go with that.
I'm just saying, I think that's what the draw is. It's like, people are looking for that different chicken, and that's what they find.
These days, Ayam Cemanis continue to be bred and shown in the US. And when they first arrived, a lot of people made a business out of breeding and selling them. Like, this rare exotic bird. They're more available now, so it's not as lucrative to sell them as exotic fowl.
So they're crossing them.
Well, right. That's what I was about to say. But we're seeing more and more use of them as a parent breed for some unusual hybrids, namely the wonderfully creepy sounding ghost zombie chicken and the crypt walker, among others. The ghost zombie is supposed to be an Ayam Cemani rooster bred to a white leghorn hen. So what happens there is her white feather gene is dominant while his fibro gene is dominant. So you get a dark-skinned chicken with white feathers who lays a lot of white eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just another hybrid. And, with a crazy name, and it's like the wine bottle. You look at the label and you think of the name and you're like, oh, do I want that wine?
Oh, you mean people are chasing the bird down because it has a name?
Yeah.
Well, the Crypt Walker for me was a bridge too far. I was like, what does that even mean? The Crypt Walker is an Ayam Cemani rooster bred to an Americana or Easter egger hen.
Lovely.
This gives you a dark-skinned bird with varying color feathers. It sounds like there's a lot of blue in there, but many of these Crypt Walkers, I can't even. They will lay blue and green eggs. But, this is all fun. Like, great. Have a good time with it. But just remember that these crosses are hybrids. They're F1s, right, and they will not breed true.
If you want this kind of chicken, take care of them, love them, have fun, but it is not your traditional heritage breed chicken. It's a hybrid.
Right. Like I said, have fun with them. Just be aware that they're not a breed. They are a first-generation hybrid. And yeah, we're heritage breed snobs. Never claimed anything else.
Okay, so the Cemanis have the straight mulberry black purplish comb. This is going to be a boring one because everything's black. It's going to be like, this is black, this is black. Everything else is black. The legs, the feathers, the eyes, the skin, and the tissues. Their legs are black, and it's actually more of a slate color, so it's a little off. Little tinge, like a little...
I don't think, because of the way their legs are with the scales, etc., I don't think they can be like inky black. I think charcoal is the darkest you get.
Exactly. And they're not super big chickens. The hens are coming in at about 4 pounds, the roos at about 5 pounds. So they're about the size of a leghorn. That's about what the size of that they are. They're beautiful birds. And, they're striking in a monoflock. So if you want a flock that's all one color, and I'm sure those black feathers hitting the sun is going to pick up some beautiful green sheen.
They probably, a whole flock of Cemanis on green pasture is probably stunning.
It's just the other, if you have a whole flock of white leghorns, right, they're all stunning if you do, that one color flock. So the hens are not great layers, okay? They're coming in at about 60 to 100 eggs in their first year. That's not a lot of eggs. According to Greenfire Farms, they'll lay you around 20 to 30 eggs and then take a break for 2 to 3 months. I find more and more that I have chickens. Yeah, I find more and more that when I have chickens longer and longer, I believe a lot more chickens do this. And
I see some natural breaks with some of mine, and I don't have a problem with it either. Like, we have a lot of chickens, so we're not hurting for eggs.
Right.
But, just be aware that especially some of these older heritage breeds that haven't been selected for egg laying, they may have these sort of cycles where they lay for a while and stop.
And we were just talking about this before we hit the record button. I'm good with it. The only problem I see with this is that their whole body stops and starts and cycles. So every time that reproductive part starts up, it's like restarting an engine that you haven't started in a year. You have to go through all the little,
Some of them have a little bit of a rough time getting started. Yeah, I think there's a percentage of hens that probably have a couple of laying hiccups or eggs when they get started.
Exactly. And they rarely go broody, which is really good. So if you need a broody hen, you're going to have to use a different hen, use an incubator if you want to hatch eggs. But, all in all, they're beautiful chickens. But at this point, they're still more of a novelty breed than a practical chicken. I mean, the reason we say that, we're not trying to be snooty about it, is because of the egg laying production. Look at the egg numbers.
Where this bird does make sense is the casual backyard chicken lady or chicken gent or chicken keeper who wants, a really pretty addition and doesn't need a ton of eggs.
They make great pets. So this is a good pet chicken that's going to give you some eggs.
Right.
It's not going to be one of the best laying chickens.
Be under no illusions that she's a leghorn. She's not.
Right, exactly.
She'll give you some eggs. She'll earn her keep and she'll make a really, really nice pet and a beautiful addition.
But I think this is why the hybrids have started with this bird, is because they're trying to change the egg laying. They're putting a super layer in with this bird and trying to get the laying to go up.
You're probably right to some extent. I assumed it was more about the appearance, but you're probably right.
It's probably both. I mean, they're using a leghorn for appearance, but the leghorn's one of the super layers.
Right.
And if you look at this way, the first year, 60 to 100 eggs, that is not a lot of eggs.
No, it's not.
I mean, honestly.
Now,
they will help forage in the garden and stuff. So That's good.
At this point in time, they're not APA accepted. But there is a US Ayam Cemani Breeders Association, and they have developed a standard of perfection if you're looking to start breeding birds with the hope of getting them accepted by the APA.
I think they would be a beautiful bird for the show.
Of course they would. You just have to go through the steps to get them APA accepted. The website for the Cemani Breeders Association has some really good articles about the genetics and the breeding of the Cemani and the impact of that fibromelanastic gene, if you want to learn more about that. And if you find a good scientific study, a peer-reviewed scientific study on the black bones, we would love to see that.
I mean, it's really hard. It's hard to find that out there.
Well, right. I mean, like, we're not looking for, someone's TikTok video spouting what they read on someone else's TikTok video. We want a really scientific article about this. Now, the one thing we will say, if you're looking for pure Cemani, there's been lots of crossbreeding with these birds. So buyer beware. If you're going to buy yourself some Cemani, stick with trusted sources.
Oh, yeah. So here's the big question. If you want this bird for your pet flock, where do you go to get them?
My Pet Chicken sells day-old Ayam Cemani chicks. Greenfire Farm also sells Cemani chicks. And you can check out that breeders list on the Ayam Cemani Breeders Association website if you're looking to get into breeding for show. Those are some good options right there if you want to get yourself some of these pretty birds.
And right on our Insta, we have a link to My Pet Chicken to go over there to buy those if you like.
Yeah, please use the affiliate link on our website and tell them that we sent you and we get a small commission. Thank you.
That would be great. Okay. Oh, send us some pictures. We would love to see just your Ayam Cemani birds.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool looking.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today.
Eaton Pet and Pasture is a farmer-owned company based in upstate New York that creates USA-made sustainable products for backyard chicken keepers. From low-dust hemp bedding and comfy aspen nesting pads to nutritious treats and odor-eliminating products, everything is designed to keep your coop clean, healthy, and smelling egg-tastic.
All their products are made right here in the USA with ingredients that are safe for your flock and the planet. So whether you're doing a deep clean or just a quick refresh, Eaton makes it simple to care for your coop the natural way.
They're your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness, made easy.
Visit EatonPetAndPasture.com to explore the full line of flock favorites and use the code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount. Okay, are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
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 This week we are super duper happy to welcome Dr. Flores and Dr. Bradley from the California Avian Health Education Network back to our table. We're going to be talking about biosecurity. Ladies, it is wonderful to see you.
So great to be back again. Thank you. Thank you.
Back with the chicken ladies.
Yeah, welcome back to the table. It's so great to have you back. Today, we want to talk about some important stuff. And I think we want to talk about biosecurity in the backyard.
Our favorite
flocks.
topic. Excellent.
Because we feel it's really important. It's one of those things that everyone should know about.
We cannot agree more than that, especially Dr. Flores, who is basically our CAHEN biosecurity extraordinaire.
I wouldn't call myself that.
She's very modest.
Come on. You're a strong woman. You're an extraordinaire for sure.
So I think people get a few chickens, they have them in the backyard, and they think, I don't need to worry about disease. I don't need to worry about my flock getting anything. There's minimal contact. What can happen? But what can happen if you're careless about biosecurity?
That's one thing a lot of us have thought while we hear these stories, but it's just like, even before you get the chicks, there's so much to look into. Like, where are you going to place them when you first get them? Where are they going to live when they grow up? Are these chicks even vaccinated before they come to your home? So we always tell owners, get them from reputable sites that they'll vaccinate your birds, because you don't want to bring in birds to this world that don't have any immunity to anything, right. Especially with so many backyard flocks now. I mean, who knows what's in the environment? So even before that, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And once you do have your birds, do you even have space for them? Because once they're growing up, does your backyard have enough room for, let's say, it's 10 group of flock birds? So it's just like, man, also, are they going to be well sheltered? Are they going to be out and about, exposed to the world? So it's just like a lot of prep before these birds even hit your home.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I can add to it, even with those small flocks, it's very important because, one, you want to make them happy, especially if you're trying to use them for, let's say, eggs, which is the most common. I know some people get bachelor flocks, but if you're looking for eggs, you want to make sure, like Dr. Flores had mentioned, reputable source, because you don't want something like salmonella infecting your eggs, because you can also get diseases from chickens, including salmonella or other diseases. Big one would be also like violent Newcastle disease or bird flu, in case people didn't know that is actually zoonotic. So keeping that in practice will help your birds be happy and healthy, and yourself as well.
So I didn't know that Newcastle disease was zoonotic.
Yes, it is. And it actually can go into the eggs. So those eggs, if they are infected, cannot be consumed. Also, for the most common side effects in humans would be actually pink eye, but immune systems that are more compromised can also get other type of illnesses as well. So very important to make sure we keep that out.
Wow. Okay. That's my big takeaway for today. I learned that. Wow. So you have somebody who, they have their backyard ready. They've got an appropriate coop, maybe a run. They know where they're going to get their chickens. What do they do from there? Like, what are best practices when you say go to the feed store, buy your chicks and bring them home?
For that type of situation, we do like telling people you should have dedicated shoes for your when you're at home, and then when you leave your house to go to a different feed store where there's a lot of other people with chickens too. Again, we're just trying to prevent the spread as much as possible. So even if you use your regular shoes to go to the feed store, you go pick up your chicks, pick up your feed, whatever you need. From there, when you get back, you can either Lysol your feet if you want to be that person and be extra clean, or take off your shoes. Even if you want to wear a different type of outfit when you go see your birds, have your dedicated shoes for them, just to, at all costs, keep whatever you found at the feed store there, and your babies are nice and clean.
We are big proponents of that, like coop shoes.
Yes.
Shoes that go on before you go into your birds, and that's the only place they go.
Another thing that is, because I do often hear a lot of owners just assuming that biosecurity is very expensive. In my view, it can be also cost effective, because the number one thing that we say is making sure that you wash your hands before and after handling your birds. Yeah. It's as simple as that. That can really mitigate a lot of diseases. And then, as Dr. Flores had mentioned, having just dedicated shoes and maybe even clothing that shouldn't cost even anything, because you don't have to necessarily get specialized clothing, just making sure these clothes and these shoes are just for attending my birds.
We also have a cute social media video of biosecurity on a budget. So that's a fun video to watch. Yeah.
That's perfect.
So let's talk about what we can do on a budget that is low cost, that can keep our birds safe and healthy, all those good things.
So one of the things I already mentioned, number one, washing your hands before and after handling your birds. having dedicated shoes and clothing. They don't even have to be specialized necessarily, just clothes that only go when you're entering the coop and then changing your clothes afterwards. The other things that we can do if we want to bolster up our biosecurity, which we're all about, is we can get a large litter box. You can even go to the dollar store, pick one up, and use that as your foot bath. You can go in and put in bleach, like household bleach, 10-1. So that would be 1 part bleach, 9 parts of water mixed in, and that can be your disinfectant, or there are other disinfectants that are labeled against influenza A viruses that you can use. Just got to make sure that if it looks dirty, got to change it.
Okay. Wonderful. What about your bestie keeps chickens too, and she wants to come over and hang out? What are you doing there to try to keep your flock safe?
I have separate shoes I wear at your house.
I do too, but still, hypothetically, what do you want to do? What should you do about visitors?
Really depends on that one. I know it might not seem fun to do, but having some questions with those owners, like, have any of your flock, like, have you gotten any new birds lately? Because that would be kind of a no for me. You can say for a while. And then the other one be, do you happen to have any sick birds? And then if it's still no, I have seen people actually have guest clothing and shoes or shoe covers.
Okay. Yeah.
It makes sense. You don't really think about that part, but it does kind of make sense. And especially for you guys, like you're like, oh, my friends have chickens, but they invited me over for dinner. Yeah. You know, like, how does that work? I mean,
just a little story here because I love this. A few years ago, Chrissie and I went up to Boston. We drove from Maryland to Boston. There's a former MIT professor that breeds a certain breed of sheep that I really wanted. So we drove up to Boston to get these sheep from her. And bless her heart, she met us at the gate with boot covers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we were like, yes,
brilliant.
That is fantastic. Yeah. It was just a little thing, but she was prepared.
Yeah, definitely. It's smart. Now, the one thing I want to go on, you have a laminated sheet that you guys have put out that I love, and it's just backyard security. So you can write on it and erase. You have the month, and then there's a list of daily and weekly things that you should be doing in your run to keep it clean and safe for your chickens. Like just a few examples, like you were saying, sanitize boots before entering, change any contaminated drinking water. That's something that people don't think about. Really changing your water every single day should be a must, because that water can harbor a lot of bad things. You know, right down to monitor and examine your birds' body conditions and behavior for injuries. That's all on a daily. You know, after exiting the coop, clean boots by removing dirt and manure. People don't think about, you go in and then you bring out what you went in. So let's just see weekly, move birds to a separate area before cleaning. Dry and clean all areas with a brush, scrape off manure and other materials. These are all common sense and on a budget, honestly. And it's just a list, a reminder that every chicken keeper, even us, it's great to have right there to check off so that you know what you're supposed to be doing out there.
We're glad that you find it very helpful. And that was what our hope was, is actually, it seems like a lot. When you look at the list right off the bat, especially if you happen to not be doing a lot of it already, can seem overwhelming. But honestly, when we have owners that are actually already following this, it becomes habit. They don't really think about it. As soon as they walk out, they step their feet in their little foot bath. They walk in, they put on their dedicated shoes, and like, it's just part of their flow. Yes. So it is going to take some work in the beginning to get used to that. But especially if you're going to be a new flock owner and you just got some new chicks, practicing it will just make it so much more seamless to do it. So these are definitely things that can help, especially you mentioned like standing water or picking up the food spills, because we also don't want little rodent friends who are coming along, because those are also some big carriers of other types of diseases that can go from flock to flock.
Yeah, my sentiment's exactly like, that's not good stuff.
Anything to keep, I mean, rodents around poultry is just, even if you take the contagious diseases away, there's just a whole host of, there's nothing good about rodents near your poultry, ever.
No.
Agreed, because the rodents can actually carry, let's say, some other type of disease on them. Let's say they're commingling with your birds, and now your bird might not actually get sick from it. But then, like you guys mentioned, I like to pick up and hug a cute, fluffy chicken. And Now you've got whatever contaminant that could maybe infect you from that rodent that you didn't even know existed. Yeah, yes. And we've heard weird off stories about that, but yeah.
I mean, I grew up on a farm and I'm pretty bulletproof. Like there's not too much that surprises me or grosses me out, but rodents, that's my thing. No rodents. So the resources you put out, you have a website. CAHEN has a website. You have social media account. You have all of these, again, free resources for people to educate themselves on biosecurity.
Yes. And we're also always open to hearing. Nancy, our social media specialist, is really great at being our engagement lady on there. So she will get questions that are things that we didn't quite think about making a post. She's like, hey, docs, someone's been asking about dust baths and stuff. So then we'll create a whole post about it. And if we get enough that people have a lot of questions about things, we might actually go ahead and make a whole flyer. Then we can have that published. And we are trying to keep things also up to date. So our bird flu or highly pathogenic avian influenza flyer, we try to update that with new information as well. But anytime people have questions, you don't have to be in California. If you need to pick our brains, feel free to reach out to us.
I think this is one of those things where it's much better to be a little bored by being educated by biosecurity than it is to be in the trenches and have a problem. So be prepared. Our saying is to say to our listeners, be prepared, not scared. Know about what you need to do to prevent these things from happening. Avian flu is one of these big ones. Everybody blew it up, and it is a blow up thing, but by being educated on it and how it's passed and what you need to do, it brings it back down into a more manageable thing to think about. I can't go here. I can't wear my same shoes to the feed stores. Easy stuff so that you're not making that phone call saying, I think my birds have something. So be prepared.
I would like to add one thing because you just mentioned that with, it can be a big thing. So we actually had a previous outbreak of bird flu in the US in 2014, 2015. And the majority of those were spread laterally or from flock to flock. And that was in our commercial birds, so egg layers and broilers. So they learned the hard way about its strict biosecurity. So when it came back around in 2022 to now, currently, we saw a significant drop off of the number of commercial facilities that were getting infected because they all learned the hard way about biosecurity. However, we saw that what we call, once again, lateral spread, so flock to flock, in our backyard flocks because they weren't sure about how to set up their coops. And when we send out warnings about tarping, because I know and understand that, you want your birds to be outside, you want fresh air for them, you want them the free range, but when it's time, and it varies through the seasons, in California, I would say it's would you say September to February, March?
Yeah, fall time.
Our fall time is our fall migration season out in the West Coast. So that's the time to you hear about bird flu, get tarping over your runs. Little things like that go a long way in protecting your birds.
And that's not expensive. I mean, you can pick up a tarp for a reasonable price, even a heavy duty tarp for a reasonable price and get that on top of your run.
Even putting your food bowls under your coop so that flying over birds can't go to the bathroom and end up in your food. Those are the types of things that we can do as backyard chicken keepers to protect our flocks from these things. The other thing was, it was a big thing around here. We have the Conowingo Dam. It's about 25 minutes from my house. And, before chickens or whatever, all the avian flu, we would go and all the bald eagles are there and they do all the fishing and everything. And you go and then you could hike. Well, I told my family for years, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Because there's so much waterfowl there, and then the raptors eating the waterfowl, and there's poop everywhere. And I'm like, we're not going. We're not even going to chance it. We're done. And I think we talked about that when we did a talk with local people, stay away, because it's better just to stay away from those places than to bring something home and create a huge, big problem for yourself.
No, I like that you bring it up. We recently talked about something on an article of people don't even think twice when they go to the park and there's a bunch of waterfowl there. And they're like, oh, I should change my shoes when I get home and visit my flock. Or like when people go hunting, there's a lot of people that like going hunting, even for their dogs. So it's just like, oh, I should have dedicated clothing for my hunting practices. I should wash my dog before any interaction with my flock too. So it's just a lot of different aspects you have to really think about for the safety of your birds.
Even right down to the shoes. I have shoes that only go from my house to my run, to my run, to my house, or to my garage. They don't even come in my house. They're in my garage. And because you don't want to track parasites from your birds in or anything else to your house. So yeah, it's simple. Just make the changes.
Make the changes. I like that. Because as we've mentioned, like there are a lot of things that don't even necessarily cost extra. And the things that do, we do try to find minimal ways. So if people have questions about, hey, you mentioned this thing, how is a more economical way of doing this so I'm still protecting my birds? Or if you've got a situation where you've maybe built a certain type of coop and you're just trying to figure out, hey, here's a layout, what can I do to improve it? You can reach out to us.
We talked about Newcastle disease and we talked about avian flu because those are the two big bad ones. Are there any other diseases that we need to be looking out for that maybe aren't as highly pathogenic, but still of concern for poultry owners?
Want to talk about Merrick's?
Oh yeah, Merrick's is a big,
Merrick's is a big one. Merrick's is a big one.
Oh my goodness. So with Merrick's, again, it starts from the very beginning. Are they getting vaccinated as chicks? Are you getting them from a good hatchery? So with Merrick's, unfortunately, so it is a herpes disease. If you have an unvaccinated flock, let's say, and they end up getting some neurologic signs pretty early in their stages, and you're like, oh, well, I wonder what this could be. I mean, Merrick's can spread so easily too. It's in their follicle feathers, so it's just like everywhere. It's in your environment. Again, it's a herpes virus, so you're not going to get rid of it anytime soon. And unfortunately, those birds there's no cure for them. They will just suddenly die, unfortunately. And only the most
like robust.
Yeah, robust chickens will survive it. But again, they're carriers now. So you don't want to bring anything in. So what I tell owners when I call and we figure out they get a necropsy done, it turns out to be Merrick's. I'm like, hey, like this is the situation now. I would recommend not bringing any more birds. You're going to expose them to Merrick's. Whatever birds you have now, keep them as long as you can. If unfortunately one dies, like now you know the symptoms to look out for. But just stay with this flock and then even boost up your biosecurity now that your flock is sick. You don't want to take it anywhere else.
How long does Merrick's actually live in the environment?
A long time.
Yeah.
Very, very, very hardy. I think even like UVA exposure is hard because it can, like Dr. Flores had mentioned, it can be like in the scale or their skin cells and their follicle feathers. It's like in the dust. Very, very difficult to get rid of in the environment. We just kind of assume it's everywhere. It is something hard to battle.
That prevention, like the Merrick's vaccine, generally if you're buying at a feed store and they've already had it done, you don't even notice it. But if you order from a hatchery and you have the vaccine done, it's like $1 a bird.
Or like $2 top.
Very affordable. Because if you have a Merrick's positive flock and you end up having to let them live out their natural lives, you probably don't want to put any new birds in that old coop. You probably need to start over.
Yes, ideally, but that may not always be the case. But that's why I think it was nice that Dr. Flores says, hey, just as an FYI, if you've got it, just assume that the rest of the birds will end up getting it. It is very, very just a hardy virus, difficult to get rid of. And then if you have the birds, let's say they are robust enough and they survive very rarely, but it can happen. You might not even notice anything. And then all of a sudden you get a new bird years later and you're like, what happened? So
does CAHEN see a lot of mycoplasma?
So it was going to be another thing I want to mention is with really good biosecurity practices, we see a lot less of like mycoplasma, coryza, infectious bronchitis. And the flocks that we get these sick calls where, you know, they sound really bad and we send them in for a necropsy, which is kind of like an animal autopsy. We'll see a combination of these. And then when we go out to visit, you know, these backyards, I hate to say it, but we can see why. The biosecurity practices, and we're not trying to judge them. We try to go and talk them through it. Hey, you know, we can see some places that we can help so that this doesn't happen again. And they're very appreciative. So it happens. So I feel like that's why we do emphasize biosecurity so much, because you can get these other diseases that you can really make not happen. And if, like Dr. Flores is mentioning, if you really emphasize their health and happiness, that actually makes a huge difference in chickens, as you all know, as flock owners. When they get really stressed out, they have very sensitive respiratory systems, so they can get sick. So if you make them happy and healthy, they have a more robust immune system. And if you have good biosecurity practice, you're not going to see these diseases, or very rarely.
That's great.
You know, saying all these things, it doesn't take a lot, you know, like the vaccine is inexpensive, the foot bath, everything. All these things are just changing your habits and learning to do some new things. And it's just wonderful that you're there to educate everybody, free to them on what to do, what to look out for. If anybody has any questions, they can reach out. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. What can you say? You ladies are wonderful.
We love what we do. And since we love the animals, helping owners out is only going to help these animals out. So our flock owners are our way to be the liaison, to be an animal advocate. So that's why we try really hard to work with people. It can be frustrating, can be very confusing, but that's why we're there to answer the questions. And that's why, and if you happen to be in Southern California and you need us to hey, can you check to make sure I've got good biosecurity in my backyard? You can reach out to us. We can help you out with that.
You're always going to be known as the SoCal ladies, and SoCal is so lucky to have you. SoCal is so lucky to have people that care for these chickens and poultry so much. You've been a wonderful guest. Thank you again for coming back.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Just as we did with the first episode with you, we are going to have all of your information in the show notes so people can find all of your wonderful budget-friendly resources.
We'll talk to you soon.
Too.
We'll have to have you back really soon. We'll talk to you again.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye. We just want to thank the doctors at CAHEN, Nancy, their assistant, for a really great conversation. They're such an amazing resource. Check them out.
Yes.
If you haven't already, and get on their mailing list and get some of their calendars. They're really great.
They're great. And biosecurity doesn't have to be an expensive thing. It's just a common sense thing.
Right. It's important. And even if it seems like you're in the middle of nowhere, trust us, practice good biosecurity.
Definitely.
If your flock could talk, they would thank you for shopping at Eaton Pet and Pasture, your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness made easy.
From their all-natural USA-made favorites like hemp bedding, roost refresh, and nesting pads to convenient product bundles that make chicken care simple, Eaton has everything you need to keep your coop clean, cozy, and odor-free.
Check them out at EatonPetAndPasture.com and use code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount.
Okay, so we ready to move on to
Cracking the eggs.
Cracking those eggs. Now, the meeting of the minds, we wanted to do something sweet this week. And as we go back and forth with what we like.
If there are muffins on this show, it's because you wanted them. I'm not a muffin. I'll make quick breads and I'll make cupcakes, but I usually do not do muffins.
I can't say it, but I love my muffins.
I know.
So this week, we're doing Rhubarb Streusel Muffins.
Yeah, they're actually pretty quick and easy. They don't take a ton of rhubarb, so one or two stalks, if you have some in your garden, is usually plenty.
Yeah, and if you don't have it in your garden, go to the farmer. Well, is it in season right now? You can always get it in the grocery store. That's for sure.
You can usually, because it's not so widely grown, you generally, it's too hot to grow it in South America, as far as I know. So if you see it in the grocery store, it's usually grown fairly locally. And my rhubarb in my garden is, ripe and ready to go now. So I would imagine you should be seeing it at the farmers markets and maybe in your local grocery stores right now.
So I'm coming over for some coffee and muffins.
If you're bringing the muffins.
No,
there's going to be rhubarb quick bread when you get here. Rhubarb coffee cake is what you're going to get.
Okay, so let's go through these ingredients. And first, it's for the streusel, because you do want to make this and set it aside so that you're ready to use it when you need it.
Just a practical little note, because I've learned this the hard way. Put it in the refrigerator if it's hot in your house.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want that butter to melt.
No, you don't.
Okay, so let's go through the streusel ingredients. That's 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour or gluten-free 1-to-1 flour, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/3 cup of butter or dairy-free, cold and cut into small chunks. Like Holly Ann was saying, you got to keep that butter from melting. So sometimes you can mix it all together, stick it in the fridge, and then you're ready to go. Now, here's what we're going to need for the muffins. 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour or gluten-free flour, 1-to-1, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of milk or dairy-free milk, a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Here comes the egg, 1 chicken or duck egg, and the rhubarb, 1 cup finely chopped rhubarb.
You're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease or spray or line a 12-cup muffin tin or a 6-cup jumbo muffin tin with paper liners, whatever works best for you, and set that aside. In a medium to small mixing bowl, you're going to whisk the dry streusel ingredients together. Use a pastry blender or your fingers or whatever you like to use to cut the butter into the flour mixture. You're going to blend it until it's crumbly and it sticks together in clumps. Set it aside. In a large mixing bowl, you're going to add the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and the salt and whisk those until well blended. You want another small to medium mixing bowl, and you're going to add all of your wet ingredients to that. So that's your milk, your vegetable oil, your egg. Whisk that together really well, and then you're going to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Using a spatula or a wooden spoon, you're going to mix gently until the ingredients are reasonably well mixed. Don't overmix it. Some lumps are okay. Fold that rhubarb in, and then pour the batter right into the prepared muffin tins. Grab your streusel, sprinkle that over top of the muffins. Press it into the batter just a little bit so it sticks in a little bit. Pop it in the oven. You're going to bake it for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you're doing jumbo muffins. It's going to be finished when the tops are lightly golden brown and spring back when touched, or, which we prefer, using a cake tester when it comes out clean. Take them out of the oven, let them cool for a while, and enjoy. They're very quick and easy and delicious.
It'll always be jumbo muffins for me. That's for sure. Always.
Okay.
Well, I remember a long time ago, I bought the jumbo muffin tins because I was like, it was like the best thing I ever did. I was like, oh yeah, I got to find the papers then. Like, you got to order the papers.
You can make them I make them myself with parchment paper.
Yeah, you can do that.
I put a pair of jumbo muffin tins on my bridal registry, and one of my coworkers gifted them to me along with some icing spatulas. It was a good gift.
That is a good gift. Okay, so try it. You might like it. Hopefully you didn't hear Rocky barking at the kids getting off the bus during that because I was trying to control them.
Sometimes our dogs bark, and that's okay.
Yeah, the little elementary school bus is getting off right now. So he's like, they're in our yard. You gotta get them.
Get them.
Get them. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we are talking Eaton Pet and Pasture's wound spray.
It is good stuff. I will tell you, one of my all-time favorite things for cleaning wounds on not just my chickens, all of my livestock, is Vetericin.
Oh, yeah.
And this, ingredient-wise, is comparable to Vetericin. But it's in a smaller spray bottle with a pump spray, and I love it.
I like the pump spray better than the trigger spray, to be honest with you.
Especially if you're getting, like, up close to a bird is smaller, right? A trigger spray is nice if I'm spraying that down a sheep's leg. But if I'm working on poultry, I like that little trigger spray bottle.
I feel like the trigger's a little too hard and direct, and then it doesn't really go on where the pump... I mean, let's go through... it says, why flock first? It's made here in the USA, promotes healing and healthy skin, does not burn or sting, and it's organic.
Right. So what's the main ingredient? So the wound spray, flock first, the main ingredient is hypochloric acid. And that's the comparable ingredient that's in Vetericin spray. It is natural. It is actually fairly gentle, and it is fantastic.
Yeah. there's a lot out there that you need wound spray for. They break nails. They get bumblefoot. In fights, there are combs, there are wattles, many things.
The one place that these kind of sprays in general aren't useful is probably puncture wounds.
Right.
But everything else, it is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a predator attack, you always want to have something around to clean first thing. So
bites on combs and wattles,
exactly.
Birds that have been in fights, clean them up and give them a good spray with this stuff.
So try it. Flock first. It's great. It's organic. It's natural. You can't go wrong.
It's fantastic.
Okay. So should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, episode 289, we are profiling a bird that both of us love, but neither one of us have had. That is a Transylvanian naked neck.
That I see in my flock someday.
Yeah, I really like them too. And the chicks are so ridiculously cute.
So cute.
Main topic, ripped from the headlines. We're talking about the real dirt on salmonella.
Oh, yeah.
And getting some science and some practical stuff. Cracking the eggs, we're doing rapini carbonara, getting Italian.
Yep.
And we're doing a seed spotlight on nasturtiums, one of my favorite flowers.
It's a pretty flower. Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese every day.
And kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.